Hi, and welcome back to the Rice Museum. I'm your host, Garrett Romaine. Today I'm going to talk to you from inside the Agate Gallery. And this is one of my favorite rooms. You can call me a rock hound. I love to go out and collect on my own. I like to go to the beaches or the creeks and rivers and just look for agates and jaspers and petrified wood there. Or I've dug for seam agate out in the high desert. So I like agates a lot. Let me start by showing you the Monarch Queen of Guadalajara. This is a beautiful butterfly display of an agate that came from Chihuahua. We put this on display last year. Alberto came up and talked about it. Alberto Ray is opening up some of the deposits across the line from Tucson, and he would like to have more people come down there. But we were really overjoyed to have him display this because it's a beautiful example of a very large agate. You can see it's got a lot going on in here. There's a lot of replacement. There must have been a lot of different pulses. Agate is quartz, is silicon oxide, and the issue that you get is why are there all these different colors? Well, it's usually some kind of a mineral replacement or addition, an impurity if you will, and it's almost always iron. You can get green iron, red iron, yellow iron, and so there probably was some groundwater solutions. These are basically just like a thunder egg, only on a larger scale. So they're inside a rhyolite flow, just like you would get thunder eggs over in eastern Oregon. But obviously we've got a lot of really cool replacement going on. So I like to start with that. Now over here, Alberto supplied a bunch of really cool, crazy agates. You've got geodes in a way and filled in, and some of them have a little bit of a hollow center left, but they're probably getting filled in with agate material as kind of a pulse, time over time over time, and maybe the impurities in the groundwater would have changed. The quartz-rich solution came in. This one here has some really cool quartz crystals in the middle of it, so it's more like a hollow geode. But I really think of this as an example of art in nature, and it's really a cool exhibit. So I'm going to turn some lights off here and switch over to this gallery. This is another one of my favorites because a lot of these materials are from northern Mexico, and the Rice family love to collect in northern Mexico. There's some really great geology down there. It's a lot of basin and range, a lot of lava flows with these agate formations or geodes. You get all kinds of here. There are pseudomorphs after aragonite, which is a calcium carbonate. You've got crystals in the middle of these geodes, and then beautiful patterns, vivid reds, vivid yellows, and then sometimes you'll get little round orbs, like especially with this one. So there's a lot of science in here, a lot of mystery because we haven't really created these in the lab. But some of the most famous collecting locales in North America are in Chihuahua, at Rancho Agua Neva, at Laguna, at Apache, and over here at Las Choyas, the coconut nodules. And at some of our events, we like to pop these coconut nodules. It's better if you saw them in half, but you don't have to. There's a way to get a hard wire around there and just tighten it, and then it will actually crack right in half. And they're often lined with these beautiful quartz crystals. So it's just a really fun example of all the different varieties you get from agates. And then over in this case, there are even more examples of agates and all the different varieties that they come in. They're polyhedroids, and you can see that this one has got almost a right angle at the bottom, but then it's nice and squared. Completely different from the round stuff over here. You've got triangles, you've got trapezoids, you've got 5 corners. It's just what is going on. These are from Brazil mostly, although not always. And they're highly polished, and they're just beautiful. They probably are coming out of a lava flow and then have eroded out, and then they've been polished up. But whatever you use as your theory for agate creation, it's got to take into effect what's going on. Why are these polyhedron shapes forming in there, this boxwork? They're probably in large pockets or veins of ablated calcite, which would account for some of the flat edges, and then maybe the calcite eroded away, and then on a secondary pulse, it filled back in. Okay, so on this case over here, we have a little bit more of the Brazilian stuff, and there are some really giant thin sections. We've had collectors that have collected these giants and then sliced them into translucent slabs and polished them up. You can see a lot of lines of fortification as the banding just filled in. This one here has amethyst in the very center of it, nice purple quartz. And then we always like to talk about the don'ts of collecting, and it always is painful to see these weird colors in rocks where somebody has dyed them. And so our curator put this together as examples of unnatural coloring in rock. Just because you can do that doesn't mean you should. I know kids like it, but you know, respectable dealers would not be trafficking in colored rocks like that. Okay, a couple more to show you. This is again from Brazil. These are some nice displays of really vivid colors, really amazing patterns in here. You've got orbs, you've got bands, you've got this one almost filled in. This guy has white alteration rim, brown bands, blue and white, and it's not only filling in on the side, but it also filled in horizontally, which would indicate a water type of atmosphere. So again, just more and more examples from South America. And then finally, I'll take you over here to the final case. There's a couple more from Argentina, and this top shelf especially, and the second shelf. But then down here, you're going to see some examples a little closer to home. You've got the famous dry head agate from Montana over here that looks like an old 1960s poster. This aragonite is from Ludlow, San Bernardino County, where you've got aragonite, hematite, manganese oxide, and then agatized. Just why stop there? Brown mordenite, this is from San Luis Obispo. This is a Lake Superior agate. They call those Lakers. You can still go out and collect those. They're just getting rare, more and more rare. But if you go to the state park there, they've got it set aside, and they'll give you a map of where to go. So just north of Tri-Cities up by Lake Superior. Got a beautiful Montana agate over here, and this one is from Texas, down in the Big Bend area. So just an awful lot of really cool geology that goes into making these agates. Sometimes you don't need to understand it all to go out and collect them, but it's really nice to see what North America and South America have to offer. So that's the Agate Gallery. I really encourage you to stop in here when you're out at the museum next.